That's being truthful. No, she really would say that, you know, that she knows how I am as far as like when I start a project.
Right.
It takes hours. And she's like, Stephen, come to bed. And I say, I can't go to bed until I finish. So she's very, very supportive. Let's put it that way.
How did marriage, family life, the children arriving, how did that change you as a person?
It made me more grounded. You know, before I was traveling the world, living, you know, after FIT, after going to Europe, staying there for a couple of years, then coming back to New York, getting a job, I was traveling the world. I was constantly in Asia, and I was constantly in South America. You name it, I was on the plane.
You were, wow.
Like every month, I was in either Seoul, Bangkok, someplace else other than New York.
Have you noticed, or have they inspired your design? How has your designing changed or evolved?
You know, this is what I was saying to you before. I understand people. Okay, so in every culture, there's certain do's and don'ts. Like for example, if I was living in Dubai, in United Emirates, and I wanted to design bathing suits. Well, you know, the bathing suit is not going to sell because people there, they are covered up.
Yes.
All right? So you need to know those kind of things. Like I wouldn't become a bathing suit designer in Dubai. I would do something else. So you need to understand what's going to sell in the market where you are as a designer. But also for me, I understand just that, you know, just there's certain spices that people will eat or certain colors that they are attracted to in different parts of the world other than the United States. So all of those influences have helped me to become a better designer. So I'm able, as a designer, not just design for one type of person, but many.
And how much you attribute this insightfulness to your travels when you first left school?
A lot. You know, yeah, really, because when I was there in Italy, it opened my world. It opened my world.
Wow.
You know, it allowed me to really see with clarity how what I learned here, how garments are put together, is not the way that I need to put them together to become successful.
What is one thing, in retrospect, you glad you did when you first entered the industry?
Not listen to my high school teacher and some of my professors at FIT.
Let's take a break.
C'est le destin, c'est le destin. Dunarote okete benaro mi babe yo mafele ali manera yo ni sebele.
C'est le destin. Ani balanyo konduma benilalo. Mongolu ye beralino benilalo. C'est le destin. Dunarote sebi maledi. Aramalu ye beralino benilalo. Nikire famana kanawaso.
Ya c'est le destin.
Bire famana adigalama.
Ya c'est le destin.
Nikire yarabiro. Yarabi femina kumate bamfola diana mogo. Nikire famana.
We are back with the wonderful Stephen Cutting. Stephen, what do you love most about being a fashion designer?
You know, that's a great question.
Uh-huh.
I like it a lot because it allows me creative expression.
Mm-hmm.
And to really understand about, I'm living my dream. I have the passion for just people and what they like, what colors they like. How can I take something that's just in my brain and to give it to somebody and they actually buy it. The first time that happened to me was that when I was working at the company Philippe Monet, when I was telling you about, that my mentor, Richard Weinsteiner.
Yeah.
You know, what was interesting was that I saw at that time, I was doing all my sketches, and we did this coat that was a long duster coat with epaulets on the shoulder. And that was like the #1 coat in the world. Gotta tell you. Everybody had this long, men were wearing, it was menswear, and they all were wearing this long duster coat. We produced so many of that. And I saw in the movie Black Rain with Michael Douglas, when I saw him wearing my coat,
Wow.
it was like, wow.
What was that feeling like?
The feeling was like, I walk down the street, I see people, actually wearing my design. That sometimes I sketched it in my kitchen table at home. And just to see that people really like that design.
That's
And I had a chance to go to the factories in Asia to see them make the product and select the leather from France and making sure that everything worked well together. That's an amazing, awesome feeling. It's like it's a full circle where you can sketch something, understand how you put it together, you source all the materials, you source all the buttons, zippers, whatever it takes, and you understand about the price point and how the pattern is made. It's unbelievable. And then when you see it in the store and people buying it because you designed it, that's great.
How would you describe your personal style?
My personal style, now that's a hard question.
Okay.
Because I gotta say that personally, I like jeans and t-shirts all the time, and maybe a blazer. That's it. But I'm able for I'm pretty basic, pretty classic.
Yeah.
I like clothes, but yet for me, clothing is not everything. Okay, It really is just an accessory to who the person is.
Yes.
There's a much deeper meaning in there.
Yes.
So
Who's one of your or some of your favorite designers, past and present?
Favorite designer from the 70s, Claude Montana. Now, Claude Montana is awesome in my book. He was one of those designers who put together a theme in his collection. Like once he did a whole Egyptian theme. And so that was something that was a little bit different back in the late 70s, like 77, 78, 79. He put together like different looks. So that whole feeling really inspired me to understand how to teach students now how to put the theme together to make sure that their collection says something. So that's one designer I really like from the past. There's a couple more from the past, but
Right,
that's
right.
the past. Let's talk about the present.
Yes.
I like Philip Lim.
Mhm.
He's a designer that I really like because of the way he has his look, his feeling. Marc Jacobs is something that everyone is a designer that everyone likes. I like Marc because of his style and his signature. There's a company called Millie that I really care for, but there's some unknown designers that are really good, especially who are of color that I really like. Tracy Reese is a well-known
Tracy Reese.
Tracy Reese is a well-known designer on 7th Avenue who's excellent. But there's some other designers like Epperson. Then you have Donna Dove. And I can just go on. Douglas Says, Mishi, Walden, Wilbur.
Yeah.
You know, it's Leonard Davis. There's so many designers who are friends and some who aren't friends of mine
Right.
who really are great. Because we all know how to express for our customer. We all know what to do for the silhouette. We all know what to do just to make it interesting.
Is there a collection or a design you're craving to
For me,
Yes.
now, what I'm doing now is that I actually am designing accessories. Okay? For clothing, I'm working as a consultant for a couple of brands. So I can get that design aspect of clothing. But for me, I'm producing bags. And then I have a really good partner of mine, and he and I are really doing a great
Tell us
job.
about the bags.
I'm gonna tell you about the bags.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with the bags, they're leather bags, okay, and they are really travel bags. And they really are special because you can take them with you to the gym, to the boardroom, wherever you want to go, to the store. There's totes, there's
Leather.
different leather,
I've been looking
and it's
for one
leather
of those.
and canvas together. It's hot.
Wow.
It's really, really
Oh, man.
great
Okay.
bags. And that's something that's special. It's a good price point. People will buy it.
Uh-huh.
The website is being developed now, and it's really going to be excellent. And it's Steve Cutting Inc.
Steve Cutting Inc.
Yes.
Okay.
Steve Cutting Inc. And so, there's been a lot of interest I did some test marketing to make sure it's going to, fly.
Yes.
All right, so it's really good. But the other market that I'm really working with my partner,
Uh-huh.
his name is Rick Davis.
Rick Davis.
Yeah. And it's Pegasus promotional products. And what it is that we put together different product for fraternities, sororities, so all those Delta AKAs that you see, we do that. We just a lot of different product. We do sell bags, we make cups, we make jewelry, we do a lot of
You
things.
do men's jewelry.
And women.
Wow.
And women, yeah. So and we manufacture that some in Brooklyn,
Yes.
a lot in Asia. So it's a great market.
Oh man, I love
All
this
my
stuff.
deltas and all my AKAs and everybody else, please support us.
Support the brother.
Support.
I love that. Especially men's jewelry. I've always been interested in like designing that.
Sure.
When you think about fashion,
Mhm.
what comes to mind?
Style is always present. That's what comes to mind.
Uh-huh.
Fashion, I always think about what are the trends.
Trends.
What is the newness? What is the silhouette direction? What is the colors? What's going to make people buy it from this season compared to last season? What's fashion? What is my design aesthetic?
Give me an example of one of those considerations.
Like the trend or
Yes.
All right,
trend.
so let's say I'm watching. There's certain movies that are out.
Right.
Okay, the movies that are out, or better yet, let's go. Everybody from the past, they liked True Blood.
Right.
True, those series where it's all vampire.
Mhm.
Everything's very dark. All right, that was a trend for a while. Okay, you see a lot of, everything was black, everything was red. It was like the nails. You can see how the nails were having like all those long claws.
Mhm.
Like, it's all related to the, you see how television, movies, everything is a trend to going towards that. So now as a designer, I have to make sure that I follow that, because people are used to seeing it on TV, they're used to hearing it on music, they're used to whatever, seeing it in the movies.
So
They need subliminally, they have to make sure that they buy the product.
Have you ever had doubts or fear that you might have misread the trend?
One word that never crosses my lip
Uh-huh.
is fear.
Okay.
Okay? If I made a mistake, I made a mistake.
Mm.
But it's not fear.
I like that.
I made a mistake and I tried it and it didn't work.
Repeat this, brother.
Yes, there is no word fear
Mm-hmm.
ever. It's error. I made an error. But no fear.
No fear.
No
No.
fear. Because when you have fear, you allow a lot of other things to come into your life. Okay? There's doubt. There's worry. There's
Yeah.
frustration. There's insecurity. So therefore, no.
I was going to ask you next about your design philosophy, but I think you have just, in essence, give that to us.
Yeah, my design philosophy is that style is always present.
Always present.
Always present. Everyone has their own beauty of taste, their aesthetic.
I want you to put on your consulting hat
Sure.
or consultant hat.
Okay.
You see someone, you can pretty much decide or determine what kind of design you will come up with for that person.
All right. So here's how it works.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't really design for people.
Okay.
I design for companies. Okay.
Mm.
So what I do is that I go to the company, and when I look and see who's their customer, I look to see what has sold for them in the past. What kind of silhouettes were very important for them? What kind of fabrics are important? What's the price point that they have in mind? And then I look to see what can I do to make it more enhanced or a little bit different. So I come up with different concepts with color, with fabric, with silhouette direction, which is a little bit like the past, but it has to be forward thinking. So that's how it works.
I see.
That's how it works.
Is there a particular kind of music you listen to when you're in that space of design?
You know, the only music I don't listen to is hard rock.
Hard rock.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. But, classical music is great. Jazz is excellent. All new kind of music. I love disco, but I can't listen to disco because that's like old school. And I have a young son, and if I listen to that, he's like,
Yeah.
Daddy, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on. But the bottom line is that I like all kind of music. You can be inspired by everything.
In a conversation with someone who knows you well, I heard about your calmness and your humility, and I experienced that pre-show. Where did those attributes come from?
It comes from me being humble, my love of God. It's really God is in my life, and that's important. I have great foundation because I love the Lord. And I've gotten all the foundation of just positive reaffirmation of what it is to be a man, what it is to be a father, what it is to be a businessman.